Advice is an invitation. It is not a cage, my friends. Ooh.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into some of our maybe worst kept secrets today. Like advice and thoughts or things that we've picked up along our way, just in life or in business, that have kind of caged us. Or maybe we've taken too literally. Because I feel, right, like just the human experience, so often we just take something and we're like, this person told me this once.
Yeah.
I'm going to clinch onto it. I'm going to do everything just
Yeah.
in this little way, you know? And that can be a little confining, hence the cage reference, because we source out and outwardly try to like find all these things
Yeah.
to utilize. And some are great. Like, don't get me wrong. There's advice that has been like, I needed to hear that. Like, I needed to hear that. And then there's sometimes where we like just, it starts to become like it just pulls us in, centralizes us down so much so that we just are caged in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you think back to like I always think back to design school or like the certain professors that are still with you, like living inside your brain, or someone that you admire in the industry, or is utilizing the same medium as you, someone that you truly, truly respect and look up to, something they've said or some advice they've given, and you've taken that as black and white. There is no other way. And like try to do things, but it's like almost like in the creative world, and if you are a creative, you totally understand this. There is something in the back of your head that is always going to be there. And it's something somebody said years ago because of X, Y, or Z, but like that's not always gonna last forever.
Right.
And then I think like depending on how your brain works, I guess, is how literal we take things, and then how far we take that literal thing.
Ooh, 2 layers to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you could let it destroy you, honestly. And because this expert in photography told me that I had to do this, this, and that.
Yeah.
And then you do that, and then you see other photographers doing it a different way. Like, oh, well,
Right.
So it's like it can literally cage you and almost like puts on blinders that you see no other way, and you think that like this is the road I'm supposed to be on, and this is how I'm supposed to be doing it all the time with all the things that I'm making and doing. But in reality, it's not that way. And that person, I always, what's the saying? I'm totally going to butcher this, but like, people are placed in your life for a reason, a season, or a something.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
You know that saying?
Yep.
And like, if you kind of just like take a step back and, okay, yeah, that was my professor, and they're supposed to be like the expert, actual expert on typography or, layout and whatever. But I have my own freedom, like newsflash.
Free will, baby.
Yeah, newsflash. I'm an adult now, and I can do whatever fuck I want. But like
sometimes I don't want to be, but
well, yeah.
I'm like, can I just be at like 5 again? Thank you.
Right. Yeah. But like it doesn't have to be so black and white. It can be gray, and it can be all the colors of the rainbow if you want it to be.
Yeah.
But we all do as creatives hold that little piece of advice that we've been given throughout our journey.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Like just in our brain. What's your advice that you cannot get rid of?
Well,
or shake?
For me, I think I've kind of moved on from it now, but one that did kind of cage me up was like in the beginning of my just business journey in general, was just like being like a tailored version of myself. Like you have to look and be a certain way in order for people to take you seriously, for them to hire you.
Yeah.
XYZ, right? Like all that sentiment to me really, really, as somebody who identifies as but doesn't really operate as, which is a weird thing to say out loud, as a rule follower. You You tell me that, and I'm going to go, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to book me or want to pay for services if I have purple hair, for instance, right? Like, as just a very obvious example of not being prim and proper.
Right.
In some people's eyes. But that caged me up. And there was a reel I did like forever ago. And it's like a photo of me at a photo shoot, a branding photo shoot of mine, where it was before I had purple hair. And I'm just like, the pose is just, I'm just like, it's not a bad pose. It's just the energy of it. I'm like, just like very like, just like stoic. I'm, you know, just not
holding
my
back.
full self.
Yeah.
And then it like pans to me as like a more recent one where I'm like I literally, you could tell I just like laughed. I might have been laughing in the photo.
Yeah.
I had a blazer. The funny part about it was I was wearing more professional things in the laughter, more me one. Like I had a blazer on versus the other one was like, I don't know, I can't remember, like a elevated like t-shirt, like with a tie in front, whatever.
Yeah.
So that was more casual, but I looked a little bit more like put together. And then the one where I had like an actual blazer on where you would think, well, that's okay, that's professional.
Right.
But I have a leopard print skirt on and a flower crop top on. You see a little bit of my belly. I now have purple hair. I'm laughing. I'm out loud. Like I broke that chain.
Yeah.
You know? And so if I kept that, like the only way to have a successful business is to look a certain way, I would not be where I am today. I 100% believe that to be true. And I just talked about it on one of the other episodes, but I just did a more corporate-y headshot project this week. But everybody was so like chill and a little bit woo and a little bit whatever. So even though their nature of their business, because it was like CPA type stuff, was like corporate, they were not, if that makes sense.
Right.
And they were like, we got so many people like coming in on the Facebook comments or whatever that they put out. They were like, we went right to you because your website was fun and colorful.
Yeah.
Everybody else's headshots were just like backdrop and like kind of like just like what you expect.
Yeah.
And you had more like lifestyle, or there might be like a brick wall or plants behind them, or they were like just whatever. And like, although we still need basic headshots, we wanted them to have a little life to them.
Right.
Again, if I caged myself up and said, I can't present as the person I am, as the creative that I am, at the way that the style that I bring to headshots, that wouldn't have got that job.
Right.
100%. Because she's like, that's literally the main differentiator. She was like, it was either people who you could tell that like branding and headshots wasn't their main work. They were like just photographers of all things, which nothing wrong with that. But they were like, we wanted somebody who mainly worked in this world, or they were too buttoned up. And I was like,
a
perfect example that like as a business woman, I can be me. And that advice that I had in the beginning was like, be this, do that, look like this.
Right.
Wear the, wear black and white.
Who's like the photography business, like police who, like it's almost like.
Who's any business police, you know?
That's like, sometimes like where your brain is, it's like, like it's almost like, there is a police that is going to come get you if you don't do it. If you don't follow the rules that you were taught, you know? Like, yeah.
Coming from the girl that had a dad in the FBI, that makes no sense. You're like, they're coming for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's actually my biggest fear is going to prison.
I think you're okay.
I know.
You seem to make sound choices in the last 20 years.
I know. Well, that's why I for real, dude.
You make good choices ever since I've known you.
My daughter asked me, she's like, what is your biggest fear? I'm like, going to prison. And she's like, what?
It's instilled in you.
I know.
From your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll bail you out if you do.
So that's something that's stuck in my head.
See, yeah. Speaking of things that stick with you.
Don't commit crimes. Don't go to prison. I would never survive in prison. Never survive.
Oh my God. Okay, well, there you go.
Anyways,
well, how about you? How about you? So that's mine. That's the biggest one. It wasn't like a very specific piece of advice, but it was that sentiment from so many around
like
me.
A piece of bad advice that you.
A piece of bad advice.
Okay.
Right. It was just like, be this way, look this way, make sure your website is clean and simple and da-da-da, and all. Yes, still make it very like make it work for you. Don't make it like a hodgepodge. But mine is bright and colorful and like wild in its own regard. But like, that's the other thing. Somebody else just said, a different client just said, your website was so inviting and fun. It gave me like a little party as I was like whatever, but it was easy to contact you. She said, I was going between two referrals that she had gotten.
Yeah.
And the other person, she's like, I couldn't find where to click. You had like every page had at least like 2 ways where I can say connect.
Yeah.
And it went to a consultation.
Okay.
So
There you
like,
go.
again, the party vibe
Right.
won. And then the connectivity and ease was what gave it. But yeah, that's my biggest one. Because it caged me for a bit until I was like, like I was like the Hulk, you know, just like coming out. And I just came out, and I fully intend to keep being my weirdest self. I know that we have sent reels back and forth of like an older version of me.
Yeah.
We see him out there. I'm working on it. And it's like the lady with just the fun, crazy, wild gray hair and the craziest outfits.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it. I already am the eccentric crazy aunt. We're going to keep amplifying that in business, in life, as an aunt, as a human, as everybody.
Man, keep it exciting. That's what I say.
So yeah, that's mine. That's my biggest thing, and my takeaway for y'all is, if you're in a season where you're buttoning up into a place that you feel small, start shoving the edges. You know?
Yeah.
And yours might not be like how you present in the world, but whatever it is, just slowly. It's like the coin machines at like haunted trails, or like, you know, I'm trying to think what would be like more Dave and Buster's, maybe would be more like worldly known, but like the little coin machines where you drop the coin in and like they slide a little bit closer to the edge and they never fall. You know those machines?
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like start just
I haven't seen one of those in like decades.
Yeah, there's a place locally here to haunted trails that like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get all those quarters, and then it would be like, and then it never goes, and you're like, huh? But anyways, just start edging yourself towards the next little open-ended moment, you know? Okay. How about you?
Well, I will talk about my best advice when it comes to design and creativity. And it's so simple and stupid but it's just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it's funny that this has stuck with me in a positive way, because the professor that drilled this into my brain he taught several classes, but one that we just could not meet eye to eye on is typography. And you know how crazy I am about typography and fonts and all the things. Like, it is a true passion of mine. You might think I'm a dork because of it, but I
personally don't.
I will judge you by the font that you use.
Well, the good news is I think I use the fonts that you told me to, so.
Oh, yes. Yes. So I forget his name, but I can see him vividly in my mind. And, you know, I was always trying to do things different in art and design school. And with design, and especially back then with typography, there were real tight rules. There were rules that you followed, and the entire design industry, graphic design, advertising, marketing, they followed these rules to a T, and you didn't see any sway from right to left. So that's how like kind of super structured it was. But he taught me something, and he called it the power of 3. And when he started teaching it, I was like, oh, great, just another rule for me to follow.
One more.
You know, yeah. And so I would present designs to him, and it wasn't clicking with me at first. And he's like, no, you have to understand, like, this relates to so many different things in life. And this man he was just a very collared, button up, like, he came to teach what he came to teach, great as hard as he could. You know, like, spit on my hopes and dreams.
Oh, squash them right up.
Right. But then for some reason, when he started talking about the power of 3 and then relating it, he got like a little kind of like worldly and talking about life in general, and how like the power of 3, look at the pyramids, look at this, and your eye naturally wants to hit 3 points. And triangle is like the strongest shape there is of all the shapes. I guess that's, you know, that's what they say. Yeah. So in design, you know, you have to divide your design space into 3 parts. a letter or a number in whatever certain font is divided into 3 parts. Um, and once I learned that, and once it finally clicked, I have utilized that in everything that I do.
Yeah.
And like even outside of design, like in design, I made sure, like even to like the centimeter, the smallest measurement that I could find, my things were lined up and power. I just put I can't talk. What's going on? I just put together like a big proposal, and like that little rule was in the back of my head the entire time, because I thought back, because one of our projects for that class was to design like a pamphlet or like a showcase of sorts, and I chose Tiffany's, and I did this like almost like you receive like a magazine from Tiffany's or whatever, and cool. Everything was laid out power of 3. So if for example, if the paper is 11 by 8.5 by 11, then it's divided in 3 parts going down, 3 parts going this way. But then if I have like an info section here, that's going to be divided into 3. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, go down the barrel of the 3s.
Yeah, but then like when I'm painting, say like the mural job that I'm working on now, like we're doing 3 murals because the eye just wants to naturally hit 3 points.
Yeah.
And it does that for better understanding. And then 2, which I think is the main reason our eyes just naturally do that, is to find some sort of reasoning and stability.
Yeah.
So you want to find that grounded space visually,
Right. It's the same thing in design or interior design as well.
Yeah.
Things in 3s.
Yes.
Like if you're staging, like if you come to my house, a lot of my things are in 3s. Like I'm picturing my one table and both sides have 3 things. And it's so like if I take one out, I'm like, it's not right. It's not grounded. It's not visually pleasing to my eye.
Right.
And it doesn't feel good. And so in a lot of like it goes in that, and then photography has got the 3rds too as well. So it's weird.
It's everywhere.
Also, 3 is my favorite number.
3 is your number. Yeah.
So it grounds me, I guess. I don't know. I never really thought of it like that. But anyway, sorry.
That's like the best advice or any that I've learned like ever, really, and that I still utilize to this day in every single thing that I do.
Yeah.
And then I think the worst advice that I've been given is kind of very similar to yours, which is niche down. You need to niche. I fucking hate that word. Yeah. Sorry for my language.
It.
No, but like I hate that niche. Like there was like a moment everyone was saying it, like
super big.
Oh, you need to niche down, and that's the key to success. Is you need to like find your niche. Ugh. I'm like, can we stop saying this word?
Yeah. Niche. And then also everybody was saying it like 2 different ways. Is it niche or niche? So then that was like even more annoying.
God,
You're like, okay. Like nobody knows how to say it. Let's just move on from
tomatoes.
it. Maybe we shouldn't do it. Like
right. If it's bothering me that much, maybe I should just like carry on.
Move on.
Right. But like I thought at the moment, I'm like, well, crap. Like I want to work with all of these different types of clients. Why do I have to niche down to I don't know, yoga studios for lack of a better example?
Like a happy balance. I think it's the sentiment behind it is great in its own regard. Let me like give it its flowers where it's due. The harshness of having to be like it can be very confining, right? It's like it just doesn't feel good when you're like somebody who has like a little bit more of a robust, space. But yeah, I could see where it would be like you were like, piss off, niche.
No, yeah, for real. Because like, I mean, if you think about it, like how many different talents do you have, and what like all the hobbies that we have, and then like all the ideas that we have continuously flowing in all day, every day. Like, to tell me that I need to like not to ignore 90% of that and just focus on the 10%,
right.
no thanks. Like, there's too much out
Well, and I think
there.
there's a beautiful way to do that. I think, like, you called me the one time, like, this was like a while ago, like at least a year or so ago, and you were like, we were talking about like my content, and it was like, there's so many different facets of you, because it was like for a while it was like only talking about branding, and I felt very niched. I felt very like handcuffy. So it was like, and now it's like, okay, I bring in my dance, I bring in my love of design and style and whatever, but I always bring it back to like my big message, right? Confidence, joy, stepping into your self-worth, like all these things. But I can share me doing something like a fun DIY project, or whatever it is, fixing my fun rings that I love and am known for, and bring it back to that sentiment. It doesn't mean that like, oh, well, I can't talk about that, because that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Right. It's all still creative, and it's all still like tied together by you. So
yeah. I bet you're going to ruffle some feathers with this conversation.
Oh, totally.
Because some people are like, nope, you have to talk to one avatar.
Yes.
And while you should have like some idea of kind of like a direction in which you're speaking out into the universe, right? Like, I know that one episode we talked about like lawyers and medical worlds is not necessarily your people. Right. So like, you're not talking directly to them so much, but like, it doesn't write them off completely. And you're just like, you're going to show yourself like, is your most authentic person. So it's like, there's this like weird little nuance that people are going to be like, no. You have like this one little space, and stay in there. Don't tiptoe out of it.
Right. Because, and then also you're like saying no to a very large part of you and like hiding that away. Like, how is that being authentic? And like, I feel like every social media coach in all the world is going to be like, no, Megan and Chrissy, you're wrong. Everyone should niche down or niche down, whatever, however you say it.
Niche.
Yeah, because in social media land, that's like what
I think the problem with it is that it gets people so caught up in the nuances of who they're speaking to that they don't even know what to say. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, they're so like, I'm only talking to yoga studios, okay? Which there's plenty of people out there that's because they have a software for yoga studios, okay? That would make sense to speak to them directly, right? But we're talking more about like us as humans and creators and content creators and artists and all these things, and just like living a human life, showing the things that we do, working with the people that we do, all the things. You know what I mean? And I think it's important to know that like you can have a voice for like the places and spaces that you flourish in.
Yeah.
And the right people are going to find your way there. You're going to, I call it the natural selection of being a creative. Some people are going to go, nope. Next.
Right.
And some people are going to go, I love this. I want to be here. This is special and safe for me, So you want natural selection. So
natural selection, isn't that like such a horrible term? Isn't that like
natural selection is like the survival of the fittest? Like,
I thought
the strongest will
like
prevail, and like the strongest genes will continue. The
strongest I thought it had something to do with like death and dying.
Well, kind of like the weakest will not make it.
Oh God.
Like in the natural world.
Oh God. Okay.
But I'm saying, when I say it like this, it's more like the natural selection of like a weak connection for you will fall off.
Yeah.
We'll just turn into a little bit slightly more less.
Yeah.
Life or death. But like the weakest connection for you will fall off because they're not for you. Somebody who comes into my world and goes, whoa. I live in a house that's black and white and gray. And I hate jewelry. Dancing is I'm anti-dancing. And I don't want to grow at all. And all this stuff. They would be a weak fit for my world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But somebody who's like, ooh, I'm intrigued by color and texture, and I want to like have fun in life, and I want to find my voice and feel more confident, they're going to go, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I mean by natural selection. And we all get the chance to do that, right?
Right.
It's like, but if we niche down too far, we're going to lose parts of ourselves. And I think I was doing that for a while, right? Like I was niching so far down and thinking, I must say this.
Yeah.
And do that. And my content can only highlight my photography work.
And
otherwise,
it holds you back from your own creativity.
Right.
like creating for yourself.
3,000%.
Because that is in turn creating for other people and conforming to other people. And we all know what happens when we all try to conform and be like how we think we should be. It's like the death of creativity, you know?
Well, I was just talking to somebody at that headshot job, and she was sweet. She's like, she comes in, first of all, she's like, I feel like I know you. And I was like, she like had like a familiar face too, but it was like, we definitely didn't know each other. I'm like, maybe we follow each other on social. Sometimes that'll be the thing. You know, like, you don't know that you're following each other. That wasn't it. But anyways, we just had this connection on like feeling like we were comfortable, but like not knowing each other. And she was an artist. And I was like, no wonder we know each other in like the spirit of creativity. But she's not currently working in that world. She's literally working at like a more corporate-y job.
Yeah.
I said, well, do you still create for fun? Like what, like where are you at in your process? She's like, I kind of lost it for a bit. She's like, I really haven't. And her work was, I followed her, gorgeous. And she said it just changed her relationship with it once she got to the point where it's like make sure you're posting 5 times a day and and think about your price point. Like some of this we didn't talk about, but that was like the sentiment of it. Like there's just too many things. And so she like literally stopped creating because of it. Like not even for fun. And I was like, oh no, that's what happened. So
I mean,
pieces, this is why advice can be a cage. Niche down, be buttoned up and proper and prim, say all the right things.
Paint flowers and butterflies
instead of hearts and bones.
Right. Organs and body parts.
Yes. So like we're perfect prime examples of like just bucking the system and being like, these advice moments are, maybe they were okay for a small season, like you said, reason or whatever.
And well-intended, maybe.
Well, they usually are well-intended, hopefully. I don't know. Try not to put people in my world that are like, let me tell them things
to positive.
Have their demise. But I think at the end of the day, we have to find that we're our own like best like, what's the word? I don't want to say guru.
Best advocate. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
For ourselves. Take the things that are supportive, but make them your own.
Right. And you can take advice all day long or ask questions and take someone's viewpoint or something on whatever you're seeking. But then also just taking it with a grain of salt and maybe trying it out. And if it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. And that's all it is. It's not like, oh my God, the world is ending. It's, this advice didn't resonate with me. It doesn't help me get to where I want to be. And that's that. There's nothing else to it. But that's all.
We want to hear your best and worst advice that you've got. Drop it in the comments. Let us know things that have been like so fruitful for you or things that have really caged you up. And hopefully you're on the other side of the cage by now, typing that. But who knows, wherever you are. I'm just picturing hands outside of a cage, like typing in the comment section. Because my brain is weird.
Help! They're just typing, help!
If that's in our comment section, I'm going to be so nervous. I'm going to be like, what's happening? What do you need? But yes, let us know your best and worst advice, because we want to hear some of the things that maybe will be helpful for others or that we should stay away from and that we're not too good. We love you guys. Let us know what you're making right now and doing out in the world. And we will see you next time.